All right, back day, but with a little twist. We're going to be doing a reverse back day. I haven't done one of these in a while, but I know that I want to build my biceps, make that a priority for the next cut. I really want them to pop more, and I want my arms to be bigger. Like, who doesn't want that? I want to bust through the sleeves, so to speak. And a reverse upper day. I only started doing this after I started watching hypertrophy coaches videos and how he coached Terrence Ruffin. He had him doing like reverse pull, reverse upper days, and that's when I personally started implementing it myself. So one of my pull days per week is a lot of back movements first and then like 2 bicep movements. Today, I'm going to be doing 3 bicep movements first and then get into some back work. So it's just a way for me to give more energy to my biceps than back. And usually people save their biceps and triceps for the end of their workout. And what ends up happening is that just want to make sure the audio's on. What ends up happening is that they neglect these muscle groups. Okay, so we're going to see how this goes, and yeah, we'll have fun with it. It'll be a little good bit of fun here on a Sunday lift session. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when I go to the gym, like most of the times, like I don't necessarily really want to go. And I think that people think that this is, that's like unusual for someone like myself who like likes to lift, I guess, and all that. But like a lot of the times, like I don't necessarily always want to go. Like it's still sometimes a chore for me to go. And I have to just basically like, force myself to go. And that's the identity that I have, is like someone who really like prioritizes their health and fitness. So it's easier for me to do that. But it's like so fascinating to me how that identity that I have for myself is what keeps me going, not necessarily like my willpower, so to speak. And with my podcast, I try to dive deeper into a lot of these subjects and whatnot, and like habit forming, identity, all that kind of stuff. It's super fascinating to me, like what makes people do things, right? And as a coach, a lot of times I have to explain to clients and make trainings to get them to stick to a workout plan. And a lot of it is like habit forming things that we really need to focus on. So it's just super interesting to me. And a lot of people think that like fitness people have motivation. I would argue it's just more of like an identity thing, right? And that's ultimately what makes it easier for them to show up for themselves. So it's like if you wanted to stick to a routine as much as you can, like if you think, what would a fit person do, or what would someone that I want to be like do in this situation? If you ask yourself that frequently throughout the day, a lot of the work will take care of itself, because if you're the type of person to go to the gym, if you're the type of person who does this fitness habit or whatever, if you're the type of person that doesn't overindulge on dessert, it makes it very easy to guide all of your decisions moving forward. So it's just a weird way to look at it, but I was just thinking about that this morning. It is so fascinating to me. All right. Sipping on my favorite flavor of Ghost. We have the sour pink lemonade. I don't know who else does this, but whenever I find a flavor of something, and this makes me like kind of evil, I understand that. Whenever I find a flavor of something, whether it's an energy drink or a condiment, I go to the grocery store and I clear it out, okay? So when you go to the grocery store and your favorite condiment's not there, yes, there's someone like me in your area who just happens to really love that thing and want no other flavor. That's me. When I go to like my local HEB and I see these in a perfect line, like 7 of them, I'm sorry, but I clear the entire thing out all the time, because I need to stock up, make sure that like, you know, that I got my shit for the week, right? And then same thing goes with like condiments. When I go to Walmart and I see that the G. Hughes sauce is there and like there's 4 left, I mean, I gotta take them. I feel like it's something I have to do as a person that values tasty, low-calorie food. That's what I have to do. So that's something that also was on my mind this morning. I don't know if anyone else does that, but that's how I do it. I feel like the time of the day that you go to the gym determines what type of gym crowd you're going to get. And my favorite time of day to go to the gym, I would say, is the least convenient for me, but it still makes it my favorite. Like right now I'm going to the gym on Sunday morning at 8:40 a.m. Not my favorite time to go to the gym. There's not a lot of people there. The energy's not there. But, you know, I like to go there at this time to film videos because there's not too many people to worry about. I don't want to get in people's way. I try to be as courteous as I can when I'm filming and stuff. So I do like to go when there's not a lot of people and I'm filming. Now, the best, most exhilarating time to go though is after like people get off of work. So around like 5 o'clock. Now you might think like, Alan, the gym's fucking busy at that time. Listen, if you got a poppin' gym with pretty good like people, you know, they'll let you work in, they're nice, the camaraderie's there. There's no better time to go than that time, because it's like everyone is there putting in the work after their jobs, and like, you know, people are like sizing people up, like it's fun. You know, I think it's a lot of fun to be around that. And whenever I go to the gym at that time, like people always like give me fist bumps, and like I try and do that to other people who I see hit like heavy ass weight, and it's just like the camaraderie is there. It makes it a lot more fun to go to a gym when like you have like pretty good camaraderie and like people supporting each other, and you know, it's just like fun. That's just something that I was thinking about, is like gym times per day. Like it really does like change the mood of your workout, I feel. Later at night, like people in there are fucking excited to be there. Like the energy that I experience like 5 o'clock and on when I go train at my gym is insane compared to when I go like early in the morning like I am right now. And then this parking lot is like empty. Yeah. Here, I'll show you guys. So there's Alphaland, and as you can see, there's a huge parking lot here, and there's not that many here right now. I will see y'all in there though. I've actually really liked doing this. Normally, I just get to the gym, do a couple of warm-ups, dynamic stretching routines, acclimation sets, get right into the workout. But it's starting to get colder and I feel achier, if that makes any sense. Like my elbows feel a little bit achier, my shoulders feel a little bit achier, and one of the biggest things that you can do to help with your performance and also like limit risk of injury is increase your body temperature. So that's just what I've been trying to focus on in these 15 minutes. And also, it kind of gets me in the mood, you know, gets me in the mindset to train. It's kind of like a self-reflection, if you will. Here's a hot take. I think people prioritize caffeine way more than electrolytes in the gym. And I think it's ass backwards, because while caffeine may help, I find that as a coach, I see a lot of clients struggle with sleep. And the later in the day that you have caffeine, that will disrupt your sleep. So instead of overdoing it with caffeine and going over 200 milligrams a day of caffeine, why not try supplementing with electrolytes? Like, I don't even spend money on pre-workout. The only thing I spent money on is pump products, which I drink before and has sodium in here. And then the other thing that I spend more money on is electrolyte tablets. And electrolytes are crucial for muscle contractions, avoiding cramping, and performance in the gym. Most of the times when you're tired and you're in the gym and you're just not feeling good, you're probably almost dehydrated. So I always bring electrolyte tablets to put into my water, and it helps big time, like more than a pre-workout would. All a pre-workout does for me is give me the tingles, and that's not essentially what like gets me going. Like, I need to feel good, I need to feel really good contractions, and my performance and energy needs to be good. And just because you have a pre-workout that has a shit ton of beta alanine in it doesn't mean it's going to do that for you. So I think caffeine is more overrated, and I think electrolytes are underrated. And if you have all this water and no electrolytes to pull into your body, then it's not going to benefit you the way that it should. So even if you're drinking a gallon of water a day, make sure you don't forget the most important part, or I guess equally important part, is electrolytes. I like Nun tabs, N-U-U-N. Super good. Good ingredient profile. There's nothing crazy in there. And they're really convenient. I bring a sleeve with me basically wherever I go, and I just pop one in my water whenever I feel the need to. All right, Will Tennyson made a video recently talking about like body dysmorphia and comparing yourself to people on Instagram. And I wanted to make my own version of that and compare what I look like before I start lifting versus after, okay? So I just did some cardio here, all right? And I'll also do one, you know, like early in the morning. So I just did some cardio, and I'm gonna show you like the difference in terms of like arm and back, like pre and post lifting. Okay, so you can see not too much sweat going on or anything like that. Don't have a pump going. What's messed up is that people always compare themselves to the best version of someone else on Instagram. And like, I kid you not, like I work out in one of like the biggest social media gyms in the United States, hands down. And I see firsthand how many pictures people take to get the perfect angle. They'll take the picture midway through the workout, perfect lighting coming down on them. Like, it is literally all perfect to get this shot. And what's fucked up is that like you might be sitting at home right now on your couch during a work break, whatever, and you're comparing what you look like now to someone who's literally timing every single thing perfectly. It's not fair, and it's not realistic either. So keep that in mind whenever you're scrolling on IG. A lot of it's fabricated, edited, filters, all that stuff. So keep your head up and just keep in mind that like the only person you should be comparing yourself to is the person you were the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last year.
All right, so first movement is going to be hammer curl. So there's a muscle that sits underneath the two biceps that go right here. Okay, it's called the brachialis. And then the brachioradialis comes down in the forearm. Okay, so with a hammer curl, we're gonna try and target, yes, the bicep, but also the brachialis and the brachioradialis too. Okay. And I like to do them seated so I don't swing too much. And you'll also notice that I lean to one side. That's so I can keep my arm in a straight position. I do not like to come across my body like that. I find that it helps keep my elbows feeling really good. All right. That set was decently easy. I went to a 24 total reps, so 12 on each side. We're going to do anywhere from 10 to 15 per side. First set, as you know, I never really take to failure, so I'm going to go up and wait so I can hit that failure point. So as I was saying up on the elliptical, I use these Nun hydration tablets. Okay, so you can see it right there. All right, super good ingredient profile, and you pop this cap open and then there's these little tablets in there, okay, and they dissolve. Now, this is kind of like a less aggressive version of like a Gatorade would be. I personally like the ingredient profile and it doesn't overpower with taste. So what I'll do is once I finish like my pump, a couple times throughout the day, I'll take a normal water bottle like this, unscrew the cap obviously, put a tablet in, and keep this in mind. I'm warning you right now, they fizz up. So whether you use a normal water bottle or one of these, you have to break open the top to let the air escape or else it will explode on you and it's horrible. I've like been shaking it in my car and have had it go all over the fucking place. Kind of like I'm making a mess right now, but these are the biggest things that I credit like my good workouts to, because I'm replenishing electrolytes and it's allowing me to lift better. It's allowing me to have better muscle contractions, allowing me to feel good. And if you just drink a shit ton of water, no electrolytes, you're gonna find yourself not really reaping the benefits of all the water that you're taking in. And a lot of times, like, people get headaches, people get even more dehydrated, so keep that in mind. And you can find these at any major grocery store, super convenient, and you can also order them on Amazon. If you lose track of your reps, don't be bothered by it. If you lose track of your reps by 1 or 2 reps, it really does not matter. Like, reps are great because it gives you a target, but if you fall out of your rep range or in your rep range, like, if you fall out of your rep range, it's not like the end of the world. As long as you are getting to that higher level of difficulty and intensity that you need to break down muscle tissue, that's ultimately what matters the most. So right there, I lost track of reps, but I know that I hit like very close to failure there, while trying to keep my form as best that I possibly could. So I just got to this bench here, and clearly someone didn't feel like cleaning that disgustingness up. Awesome. This is a PSA to clean your shit up before you leave it. That's not mine. Ugh, that's disgusting. All right, this will be definitely a failure set. Ooh, God. And your hands cramp during curls is the worst. All right, so the way that I like to work the biceps when I have a reverse pull day is I like to work the biceps doing hammer curls, okay? I like to work the biceps with my elbows behind the body and then in front of the body, okay? So in order to shorten this muscle to the best of our ability, we want to do some work with our elbows in front of our body. So I prefer to use the functional trainer, again, here, and I'll basically have the cables down below, take a step back, and curl right in front of me, like this. All right, let's add some weight here. So we're gonna be going at 50 pounds first, just to feel out the weight. Let the elbows go in front of your body here. And curl up. And I like to lock out the elbows to fully stretch out the biceps. Oh my gosh, that's 15 hard reps. Holy shit. My arms are on fire. I question because I'm curious. If you get on a bench and you see that someone left their sweat stains, bacteria, grossness on the bench, and maybe you're sitting on the front part of the bench, so you're not really touching the bacteria stuff on the back half of the bench, are you a good Samaritan and do you clean it up? Me personally, I clean that shit up. That's just me though. But some people it might gross out, which is understandable. Three. This is failure or not. Now, you may be wondering why I'm doing like standing cable arms in front. I could definitely use a preacher curl too, but for me personally, the preacher curl really hurts my forearms. So this allows me to keep my arms in front of my body, same as the preacher curl. Yes, some would argue that it's a little bit less stable, but it just feels good for me. So, I mean, optimal is like what works best for you, in my personal opinion. So even though that might be the better exercise for stability, it just doesn't feel good on my forearms, so I don't like doing it. Now we're going to be doing arms behind our body. Okay, we're going to work the bicep in the stretch position here, and we're basically going to use the same machine, so it makes it super fucking easy. Like, I don't really have to go too many places while I'm here lifting, and now I can just go right into this next exercise. All right, so this is 35 minutes after. I've done 3 bicep exercises, pretty fucking hard, and I would definitely say that I look a little bit different. Pumps there. Haven't done any back movements yet, but arms definitely feel full and pumped. All right, so now we got our first back movement, all right? And of course, I'm gonna be using some straps here. So I just fatigued the shit out of my forearms, my biceps, because that was the priority of this workout. And now I'm gonna be doing 3 back movements to finish off the workout. So 6 total movements, and I did 8 working sets of biceps, and now I'm about to do 8 working sets of back. So we got set number 2 here. First set I went for 12. We're working anywhere between 8 and 12 reps for this movement right here. And I just wanted to say, if you don't have good music to get yourself going in the gym, the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, one of my favorite soundtracks, because they do a mix of like orchestrated music plus like throwbacks from like the 80s, the 90s, 70s. I'm listening to the Rubber Band Man right now, and if you know that song, you know this music is amazing. So we're gonna see how this set goes. Come on. Control. All right, so I did not complete like the full rep range that I wanted to there. I didn't even get 8, but I got 6.5, and I reached failure. So I'm proud of that. I don't need to be bummed out that I didn't hit the rep range. It's all good. It's absolutely crazy how much perfectionism can like ruin your fitness journey. Like the feeling to need to be perfect all the time, do like the craziest workouts all the time. In some instances, like people think perfection is eating the least. So they will like start a diet always by restricting the most. And they think that they have to do that to get results. But you really do not need to do that. Like getting in shape is as simple as like starting very slow. Like instead of going to the gym 5 days a week, you could do 3. If you can't do 3, you can just walk after every meal that you have for like 10 to 15 minutes. Like it is as simple as that to get started. And I've had people get tremendous results like doing very little work. And you always want to get the most out of the least amount of work. That's like a universal principle for a lot of things. So you're not overextending yourself and doing something unsustainable. All right, we're going to be doing, second movement is lat push down, okay? Some people like to do these single arm. I prefer to do them bilaterally with 2 arms at the same time. But with this movement in particular, I like to work in higher rep ranges so that I don't have to worry too much about the stabilization. Like if I go super heavy on this for 6 to 8, it's really hard for me to stabilize my core and everything. So I prefer to do 10 or 15. If you were to see me in the gym, would you think that I'm jamming out to Jackson 5 right now? Here's something that's super crazy, and I promise that it holds true for most gyms. So a lot of times people have a little bit of gym intimidation to either ask for a spot or either go to the gym in general. And I've been there, everyone starts off like that, but I feel like this holds true in most places. The biggest guys in the gym that often look the most intimidating are actually the friendliest people. And believe it or not, they're the most insecure, maybe more insecure than you just going into the weight section, right? And it's something that I feel like most people don't think about, but it's something to keep in mind if you ever need help, or maybe you're scared to ask someone to help you out on the spot or something. All right, so the last back exercise here is actually going to be a cable shrug. Now, instead of doing this on a barbell or a Smith machine, I like to use cables. And if you've noticed this entire workout, I've saved so much time hopping from machine to machine to machine to machine. Most of the exercises that I've done have been on this functional trainer. So if you have cables like this in your gym, like you can get a lot out of them and save yourself a crap ton of time. Anyways, the trap fibers run a little bit more horizontal and diagonal. So what I like to do to kind of line up the fibers with the movement so I can contract the muscle better is I like to use cables, and I get to shrug like this instead of having my hands in front of my body just shrugging up like that. So you'll get to see that in a second. Just gonna move this back a little bit here. I'm probably gonna have to use straps for the next set here, but this should be pretty good to start it. The only limitation to this movement is obviously the weight, right? So if you can get a gym pin on both of these, I mean, that would be super annoying. So for most people, dumbbells and the Smith machine are probably going to be best, but I like to go higher rep with the cables, and I haven't maxed it out yet. So we just wrapped up the workout. Back, traps still pumped, biceps still feel a little bit pumped. Feeling pretty good. A little bit of a different angle today for the flex, a little bit of a different lighting. I feel like I definitely look more muscular in this lighting than I do on the inside in gym 1. Chest pump, even those back there. Feel pretty good. You see, like when I look at my back, I definitely feel like this area is underdeveloped. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is do trap work. Okay, I've already done a lot of lat work, but definitely in the inner back here, like my rectors and everything, really want that thicker for next time I go on a fat loss phase. And then I also feel like my upper back with my rear delts have come a long way as well. Woke up this morning a little bit heavier than usual, which is okay. It's part of the cut. All right, it's part of the process. You're gonna gain a little bit of weight when you're trying to put on muscle, and I have to constantly remind myself of that too. So this morning, well, my usual weight's around like 198. This morning I woke up at 201, okay? Totally fine, not gonna freak out about it. That's part of the process, and I still, I'm the same body fat. If you fluctuate a couple pounds, that doesn't mean that it's the end of the world or like that you're all of a sudden starting to gain a bunch of bad weight, so to speak, okay? It is just part of it. Thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you guys on the next one. Let me know what else you wanna say.